these series, the being home versus away plays a lot into how you play. When you look at our Salt Lake series, we go away to Salt Lake. We don't create a lot of chances. We don't have a lot of possession, but we played really well defensively as a team. And we know when we come home that we play a certain way at home, and we're going to do the opposite. We're going to create a lot of chances. So these series, there's all sorts of tactical things that go on. There's all sorts of adjustments that get made from one game to the next. With Seattle, it's likely going to be the same, and a lot of it will be dictated on how Seattle comes here to play the first game. If they come here and they're really tentative, we'll play a certain way. If they come and they try to be aggressive, we've now developed the ability to play that way if we need to. We can be more direct, we can counter, we can also have 70% of the possession and break teams down that way. So we have all sorts of ways that we know how to break down teams now, and that's been a big, big benefit to our team this year that we haven't had the last few years.
Well, my expectation is just an absolute battle. We'll always look at tape from the past 3 games, even when they killed us here 3-0. We'll look at that game, we'll look at all of them and see what we did well, what we didn't do well.
Goals change games, and they got that early goal, and that early goal then got them into a rhythm, put Salt Lake back on its heels, and I think it's important that you avoid that, as much as possible. In the time we got in trouble in LA, the same thing happened to us where we took an early goal, and that's something we're very cognizant of, and something that we don't want to do when we go there.
But at the end of the day, it's about us and what we can do. We can continue to get better. We're going to get chances. We're going to score goals. And at this point, to get 1 goal against in the last 3 games is it's good. It's good going into the playoffs. And defense wins championships, and that's we can build off that for sure.
The last game of the season at their place, I think we played really well. Just the last 5 minutes, really killed us, and I would say there's a lot of things to take from that game, and we can use that game to prepare and watch video and get ready for them on the 22nd.
They really had a very defensive posture in Seattle, and therefore it limited the chances that their attackers would get, because they didn't have that much possession of the ball and they didn't have players to combine with. So it made it a little bit more difficult, and I would sense that the game is going to look like that here in the SubHub Center.
One side needs an edge, really, and it's going to come down to some special things to get the win. And so the last 2 games of the season versus them, it was sort of a rehearsal for what the playoffs were going to be like, and so it was a good matchup. Now here we are in the Western Conference Final, and it's going to be another great matchup, and now it's for MLS Cup, so it means a lot more.
Like I said, reality is you may have a couple hours left, or you may have a couple more weeks left. So that's kind of the approach that we've taken, and defensively we've got to play like champions.